Hey guys, and welcome to the Worldest channel. My name is Ali and I'm a travel addicted person. I was born and still live in Ukraine, but I always try to travel as frequently as possible. So my boyfriend and I just realized that we are quite experienced travelers to share our knowledge, failures, funny stories and so on. Hence, we decided to give it a try and show you this beautiful world the way we see it. So now our story begins. And I'm so excited to kick off with one of the most picturesque cities I've been to, Istanbul. If you're visiting Istanbul for the first time, I would highly recommend you to stick to the most touristy places. Believe it or not, it's worth it. Before planning your trip to Turkey, please check the entry rules very carefully. I guess you would like to avoid any misunderstanding at the border. We had to do our COVID tests 72 hours before the departure and fill in the online application to get the HES codes. This application can be found on the official website of the Turkish Ministry of Health, and you have to get your HES code before departure. Otherwise, you won't be allowed to board your flight. Besides, we had a really unique opportunity. Since we came to Istanbul during the last week of the national lockdown, we were able to take a lot of photos and videos with no crowds. Honestly, I would never imagine the city so desolate. Istanbul is that kind of a city that looks spectacular from the top. So when I first came here, I was quite curious about the best panoramic views I could find online. So I googled the list of these spots, and guys, there are plenty of them. I will show you 3 totally different view spots, and I think each of them is kind of unique. Number 1 is Galata Tower. This one is considered to be a symbol of Istanbul. I mean, one of them. Galata Tower is the highest and the oldest tower in Istanbul that was used for different purposes throughout the centuries. During Byzantine times, it was used as a lighthouse tower. In the 14th century, Genoese rebuilt the tower for the surveillance of the Golden Horn. During Ottoman times, it was used to detain prisoners of war. Later, it became a fire tower. The reason it's so attractive to the visitors is a 360-degree view and affordable price. Galata Tower is open to visitors every day of the week from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. And here is the place you can purchase your tickets. It's located right in front of the tower. Guys, there are so many legends about Galata Tower. One of them says that if you climb the tower with your beloved one, it is your destiny. I didn't know that the day my boyfriend and I climbed the tower together. So, we'll see. I know you're gonna ask me, Ali, what's this? A flying man? Right. The very first intercontinental flight took place here at Galata Tower. A man whose name was Hazarfen Ahmet Chalabi took off with his self-made wings from the top of the tower and flew all the way to the Anatolian side of Istanbul in the 17th century. Can you believe this? Since the tower is one of the top attractions among the tourists, surely there is a small shop with different souvenirs. If you cannot leave any country without the memorabilia, this is the right place for you. Myself, I never miss a chance to refill my collection of postcards. After you enjoy the incredible view, you can go downstairs and find a 3D model of Istanbul city. I spent around 10 minutes here trying to find the locations we've already been to. Number 2 is my favorite, Istanbul Sapphire. It's a bit more expensive than Galata Tower, however, you will not regret the money spent. Basically, Sapphire is a residential tower in a shopping mall, but at level 53 there is an observation deck with a breathtaking view. I would recommend you come here during the sunset, so you can witness how the day becomes a night in Istanbul. Sapphire skyscraper is located on the European side of the city, and it's very easy to get there by metro. Just go to the 411 station and you're right there. In order to get to our next view spot, we had to take a ferry to the Anatolian side of Istanbul. It takes around 15-20 minutes, but trust me, this time will be spent with pleasure. Number 3 is Camlica Hill. This one is actually free of charge since it's a public park. But just take a look at that. Anatolian side is just in front of you. If you go to the opposite side, you'll be able to observe the European part along with the Marmara Sea. And here is a hint for you. If you want to take a photo in front of the Bosphorus Bridge and the European part, sunset is not the best time for that. That's why we are showing you the Anatolian side right now. Camlica Hill is located on the Asian side of Istanbul at 268 meters above the sea. So this is the perfect place to observe the city view, which is free of charge. I really hope this info was useful for you. And if you've been to Istanbul before and have your favorite observation decks, view spots, please comment below and I'll make sure to check them out next time. And now I really want to take my time and enjoy this amazing view. So beautiful. By the way, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about Istanbul? For me, it's an enormous number of mosques. By the way, just out of curiosity, how many mosques are there in Istanbul? Let me check. I honestly do not know the answer. Wow! It's over 3,000 mosques in Istanbul, not in Turkey, just in one city. Oh, I love Turkish mosques, but I would have to spend around a month exploring each of them. What if we check at least 3? Oh, I guess here's the first one. And now we're gonna enter the largest mosque in Turkey, Camlica Mosque. It's also known as New Mosque since it was inaugurated in 2019 by Turkish President Erdogan. And by the way, compared to all old mosques in the historical center, this one really looks modern. So the complex includes museum, art gallery, a library, and the parking lot for 3,500 vehicles. Can you believe that? And by the way, a quick quiz for you. What do you think is the capacity of the mosque? 10,000? 20,000? No, it's 63,000 people. It's more than the population of my hometown. Let's go. Oh wait, I think something's wrong. Oh, it's so much better. Girls, boys, be very careful because in order to enter any mosque in Turkey, you need to have the appropriate clothes. You can check it over here. Camlica Mosque was designed by 2 female architects, and their goal was to make it more female-friendly and change the tradition of more men going to mosques than women. Hence, there is a separate praying space and a childcare room, and I think they did a great job. I'd like to recommend one more spot to check on the Asian side, the Uskudar Key with the beautiful Maiden Tower. And I'm so glad we came here during the sunset. I guess I don't have to explain why, right?
I've been acting like a wild man, sleeping like a child. You're so luminous and vibrant.
The next mosque we're gonna enter is not that popular among the tourists comparing to the Blue Mosque, Camlica Mosque, and I honestly don't understand why, because that's an entire beauty inside. Let's check it out together. The mosque we just entered is called Suleymaniye Mosque. That is named by the Sultan who ordered to build this mosque. So Suleiman the Magnificent was one of the richest and greatest sultans in all Ottoman history. And by the way, 4 minarets with 10 beautiful balconies represent the fact that he's the 4th sultan who was ruling the city and the 10th sultan in the Ottoman history.
And a few words about the architect. Mimar Sinan was one of the greatest architects of all Ottoman times. The number of his projects is tremendous. According to different sources, Sinan had over 365 works, including mosques, schools, mansions, hospitals, palaces. One of them is a famous Topkapi Palace. Moreover, Suleymaniye Mosque was based on the design of the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul.
Guys, even though I have an appropriate dress, I was still asked to wear this super long skirt, so just be aware of that.
On the southeast from the main entrance, you'll find a cemetery with the tombs of Sultan Suleiman I and his beloved wife Haseki Hürrem Sultan. According to the historical sources, Hürrem was born and raised in the place I live in, Ukraine, and her birth name was Anastasia or Alexandra Lisovska, also known as Roxolana. While heading to our next destination point, I realized how different life here is for everyone. The perception of a huge and diverse city is a little bit different when we come here as tourists. We don't usually pay much attention to the details, but instead focus on the beautiful side only. Even though Istanbul is among the cities with the highest number of billionaires, you can still witness the opposite side of life here.
talking about the next mosque we're gonna enter, a lot of people are still arguing whether we can call it mosque or not. I guess you know what I'm talking about, right? It's Hagia Sophia or Hagia Sophia. So why are so many people arguing about that? Initially, Hagia Sophia was a Christian church that was built in the 6th century. But in the 15th century, Sultan Mehmed II conquered the city and converted Hagia Sophia into the mosque. Later, in 1935, the founder of Turkish Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, made it a museum. And it's very logical because it has both Christian and Islamic features. And in 2020, Turkish President Erdogan converted the Hagia Sophia into a mosque again. When we entered Hagia Sophia, my first thought was, wow, I'm confused. Why are the crosses covered with flowers? Looks quite unusual. It turns out that after Sultan Mehmed II conquered Constantinople, he ordered Hagia Sophia to be prepared for the first prayer, and most of the mosaics were whitewashed and covered. However, some of the main mosaics were saved, for example, Mary and the Child. And some of the mosaics fell off in the Great Istanbul earthquake in 1894. And later, an American archaeologist, Thomas Whitmore, got a permission to uncover the mosaics of Hagia Sophia. It took about 15 years. You see, it wasn't that easy. Anyway, Hagia Sophia is an iconic architectural spot that should definitely be included in your places to visit in Istanbul list. And by the way, it took me only 15 minutes to get to Hagia Sophia from Suleymaniye Mosque. And this place is very popular. Right in front of Hagia Sophia, you will see the Blue Mosque. And I know you're gonna ask me, Ellie, why aren't we not exploring the Blue Mosque instead? I'll tell you this. Unfortunately, it's been reconstructed and we will not see anything blue over there. I must say, the day was quite intensive. And the perfect way to end your day in Istanbul is to watch a sunset. Looks so peaceful and quiet, isn't it?
About me one more time before you go. Someday you'll know. Someday you'll know. Already know what I'm going to say. I've been feeling this way for far too long.